pay over 150 contractors every 2 weeks. Talk to us about some of the specific challenges this presents to a business like Minute Solutions and how you adopted technology to streamline that process.
It was literally taking 2 to 3 days, if not longer sometimes, for us to process our payments. When we learned about Plooto, really, it allowed us to centralize things. It allowed us to have more of a singular spot where we could actually make the payments to our contractors. It helped our contractors just as much as it helped us. They got a notification of when the money was coming in. They knew exactly when it was going to land in their account. It's helped us streamline our process. It's helped us save time. It's allowed us to centralize our payment system.
The awesome thing about Plooto is that they had a really good airtight integration with QBO. I worked with my bookkeeper who knows, our business inside and out. Her and I worked on the integration with Plooto, and I remember going live. We did a transaction. Everything flowed into Plooto, so we saw we needed to pay that vendor. We paid that vendor. We did a sync, and then the transaction number flowed back into our TMS. That was huge. We both couldn't believe our minds.
And what we found is we just had inconsistent processes, client to client. Approval processes were different. And this was leading to inefficiency on our side and also not the best result for our clients. And so the second turning point was really when we went all in on Plooto. And Plooto became really the only payment tool that we supported. So we got all of our clients off of what they were using if it was not Plooto and onto Plooto so that we could have one consistent workflow and process. But we did see a significant reduction in the amount of time that we spent on dealing with AP as a service. In fact, we've quantified that to be about a 30% savings.
So trust is super important with our investors. And when we started out, we started small. We started this incrementally, and the way that people knew how to transfer money was indirect e-transfer here in Canada. And then things started getting a bit bigger. People wanted to do bigger checks. We would just say, send it over 7 days. You have a limit each day. Just send it over 7 days. We'll manage it. We'll make it work. And one of those technologies is actually Plooto that really revolutionized things for us. But since we've implemented it, we syndicate millions of dollars a year. If you can think about that in $1,000 to $5,000 e-transfers and the reconciliation amount of time that takes to do, and the struggle for an investor to have to remember each day to go into their bank and do that, the amount of time that saves for both. I think Plooto actually it has been quite revolutionary in that regard, and we're quite happy with Plooto for that regard.
We've continued to grow because we've removed that bottleneck on us. We put the systems in place so that our accounting team, which is really small, they can focus on more high-level tasks, like ensuring we're getting paid for every shipment. And we were writing a lot of physical checks through our online banking portal. And the problem with checks, sometimes they would be cashed twice if we're really unlucky. If we're just regular unlucky, they would all be cashed at the same day. We would have no control over what's coming in or what's coming out of the business. As the numbers grew quickly, a lot of cash was going out the door. We didn't know when those checks would be cashed and what our cash flow situation would be like. So it was difficult to kind of plan, okay, how much cash do we have in the business? Can we put to use to hiring someone? Can we put this to use to building something or investing in something? It was really difficult until kind of Plooto came on the scene. Whereas now we get a clean portal, it's white labeled, and we know how much cash we have. We can look a month out and we can see, okay, this is what we've got to play with this month. It's really useful. But we also use the Plooto capture tool to pay vendors who aren't carriers. So if you can think of maybe legal bills or the cleaners, stuff like that, that's huge because we scan it, it makes it easier, and it actually did prevent a fraud situation from happening. So going forward, our solution was, okay, this won't happen again if we use the capture tool every time, because then there's a second set of eyes to actually audit the invoice and make sure this is a legitimate charge to the company.